So it is Sunday, February 16th, and it's been snowing, well, snow and freezing rain since last night. Right now it's actually just rain, very slight drizzle. And I've decided to test out this new camera. So right now, God willing, if it's working right, you're seeing a side-by-side view of the Action camera, the original DJI OSMO Action, and the Action 3. And what I'll hopefully be able to do is compare not just the video, but a little bit of the audio. So right now, with the original Action, it's just the built-in microphone. But with the Action 3, I actually have it connected to a wireless lavalier microphone. And hopefully there's a big difference or a big improvement with this new microphone. So we're just gonna take a quick walk around the park. Since I haven't been doing much, I'm already out of breath. But it's not even snow at this point, it's just ice. All these trees are just encased in a shell of ice, which is pretty. Guess I'm now walking through the off-road path because nobody cleaned it. But at least they cleaned the asphalt path. Now, I believe both cameras are set to 1080p, 60 frames per second. The original Action camera only has, it doesn't have too many settings. So Rocksteady is on. However, the Action 3 has it on I believe it's D-Warp, which the original Action camera also has. It's on D-Warp. So what it does, it kind of zooms in a little bit, just so that it cuts out the part that looks kind of rounded. And it also will zoom in a little bit because of the Rocksteady. But the Action 3 not only has Rocksteady, it has horizon leveling, or I already forgot the name of it. But it almost acts like a gimbal, and it's supposed to be really good. I did a couple of little tests with it, and it's kind of crazy because you can actually rotate the camera, but you won't see that in the video. It'll seem like the video, like the camera was always in the same upright position. So we're gonna also test out how steady Rocksteady is on the new camera versus the old camera. So right now I have both cameras mounted to my chest using a chest harness. They're side by side, and we're just gonna see, which one is more steady, which one has a clearer image, which one has better colors. I'm not going to edit the video at all, other than to put them side by side. I'm not gonna adjust the color or the brightness or anything like that. What you see is what comes out the camera. And probably you're hearing me gasping for air. Now, the weather has been pretty much like this most of the winter. It's either been really cold and clear, or when it does warm up, it's a mess like this. Right now, I think it's about 35 degrees. Well, this is a little bit icy. So we'll see how that sounds. How the lavalier microphone picks up the ice crunching underneath my feet, the water drops hitting my umbrella, versus how the same sound is with the just the built-in microphone of the Action, the original Action. Now, can you hear crows? That is something that I don't think the lavalier microphone will do. It only picks up sound like right next to it. But I hear a good amount of crows in the distance. Now, in the previous video I made, doing the unboxing of the Action 3, I used the DJI Pocket 2, and when I used this microphone, I used an audio recorder, an external audio recorder. And I don't know, I must have fucked up the settings, but it was cutting out the pauses on its own, which meant if I didn't talk, it wouldn't record that part. So when I tried to put that audio with the video, I couldn't get it to line up. So at that point, it's just garbage. I just decided to use only the built-in microphone of the Pocket 2, which isn't terrible. It's just not as good as a lavalier microphone, because the lavalier microphone is only going to pick up pretty much my voice. And if I walk away from the camera, it'll still pick up the same volume. Whereas if I'm walking away from the camera, I'm also walking away from the microphone on the camera, and I'll sound further away. But I think it worked enough that I was able to salvage that video. But I had to just use the built-in microphone. And with that microphone, you also can hear all the birds, all the wind, the dog, my neighbor's dog barking in the background, potentially some kids in the background as well. But I think it worked all right. Here I want to see if this lavalier microphone also picks up the crow sounds, which we're about to walk into a mob of crows, or I think it's called a murder of crows. They're all on the road. They're probably going to fly away before I get there, though. Yeah, they're already starting to pick up and fly away, which probably means I'm being too loud. Oh yeah, they all left. There's one lone, nope, he's gone now. I was gonna say there's one lone crow left, but nope, they all flew towards the lake. So I guess I'm being too loud. Oh boy, this is actually a very pretty scene right now, with everything being just frozen like this. It's also kind of misty. I'm glad these cameras are mostly waterproof. Unfortunately, the original Action camera I lost. Well, the door broke. The little door clamp broke, and then I lost it. With the new one, I had to take the door off in order to mount or connect the external wireless microphone. So as long as I don't submerge it in water, it should be okay. They are getting a little bit wet from this rain, even though I have an umbrella, but it should be fine, hopefully. So right about here is where all the crows were, and the ice is actually breaking off of some of the branches. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's try to pan up and see how this looks. So right now I'm arching my back so that the cameras are actually panning up. I want to see how different that's going to be between the two cameras. Okay, let's keep walking. Thankfully, there's no one else out here to see me looking like a fool. Oh shit. I don't know if that got picked up on camera, but that was perfect timing. So a few of the branches that are frozen over just broke and landed over there. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of stuff falling. It's kind of why I like coming over here though, because for the most part, I'm usually the only one here. Now in the summertime it does get a little bit busier, but even then it's nowhere near what I'm used to in the city. It's actually it's doable. Let's just say that. It's not to the point where I just say, nah, fuck this, I want to go home. It's too many damn people. right now, I don't think there's anyone else in this park. I really don't think there's anyone else in this park. I don't see any cars parked over here. So it's very possible that I'm the only idiot outside in the freezing rain. Yeah, I don't see anybody. Let's just take a moment to pan over here real quick and look at the lake. See how that looks between the two cameras. Now, I did leave the house with both cameras fully charged. So I will look and see how much battery life is left on both cameras once we finish doing this little loop here. I cannot wait for all of this to melt and for it to hit about 40 degrees. 40 degrees is acceptable. I can do 40 degrees and start riding my my wheel again, my EUC. I do have that new one, and I only rode it once so far. I did not put the power pads on because I still haven't figured out the best way to do that. The other one does not have power pads. I don't need power pads on the other one. I can ride down top speed, no problem. This one, the fact that they include them tells me that they're necessary. But when I rode it without the power pads the first time, it felt like I had a dud. Like the machine is just faulty. It was not accelerating very fast at all. And when you lean forward, it's supposed to respond by moving forward and keeping you level. At least that's what my other wheel does. Like, I don't feel my feet really changing position when I lean forward because it's compensating. But with this wheel, I lean forward and I lean forward. Like my whole body leans forward, like I'm gonna just fall flat on my face. And then I feel the pickup from the wheel. And I don't like that. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but it's what it is, and I really don't like it. Maybe I just need to get used to it, but it made me feel very unsteady on it. And I don't think I made it to 20 miles an hour on that thing because it's also very blocky, very clumsy to move around. So making turns did not feel good at all. Towards the end of that little ride, it was getting a little bit better. I was getting a little used to it. I was doing little circles, but it didn't feel good at all. So hopefully after I put the power pads on and have some time to play around with it, it'll improve. Otherwise, I'll probably have to I'll probably have to email InMotion and try to figure something out. And hopefully it hasn't been too far along that they just ignore me. It's still under warranty. I believe it comes with a 1-year warranty. But I've had it now since, let's say, I ordered it in for Black Friday, but I didn't get it for a couple of months. So I probably got it around December, I think. And by then, like I said, with the way the weather has been, it's not really something I wanted to ride around on. Now, even though both cameras have some, like you can tell they're wet, they got water droplets all over them. I see both of them with their red lights blinking, so that means they're recording. Hopefully they don't get damaged. Now, currently the lapel microphone that I'm using, the wireless one, is It's kind of just pinned to my shirt using a magnet. So it's probably about maybe 6 inches below my chin, below my mouth, I would say. It is facing upwards, the microphone. So it's probably picking up more of just me breathing hard. I did not put the little windsock thing on it, mainly because it's a pain in the ass to put it on. It really is. And since I'm not going fast, I'm not on a vehicle that I'm going fast and there's going to be wind noise, I didn't feel like it was necessary. But I do want to know how it handles like my breathing. Does it pick all that up? See, and that's the trade-off of these microphones. You want to be able to cancel out noise you don't want to hear, like my breathing for one, my labored breathing for one, cars passing by, people talking obnoxiously in the background, things like that. But if you're out in nature, you want to record nature. So the crows in the distance, the birds, I want to be able to have that on the video. So it's kind of a tricky balance. And I would say we have maybe another week. I don't know. I would say maybe 2 more weeks before the crows pretty much disappear again. They start showing up around October, but you don't really notice them in large groups until about November. Then December and January is when they're just everywhere. And then they just kind of fizzle out and they disappear little by little. So usually by March, they're kind of gone. At least from what I noticed around here. Now this is going to be a little tricky because there's no real sidewalk over here. And the little shoulder is not clean. So the park ain't clean, so I can't be walking through the park right now. So I'm kind of stuck where I'm at here. I'm going to have to walk in the street and hopefully the few cars that do pass are paying attention. I've had a couple of near misses. In fact, the same day that I was testing out the new wheel, the new unicycle, I was coming back through that little curve road by the park that's very dark, and a pickup truck came out of nowhere, and I can hear him behind me, and it's got to be like 11 o'clock at night, and there's no side trail there, but once you get past the stop sign, you can just dip out into the park. And as I got to the stop sign, I'm looking, making sure it's clear, and I'm about to turn into the park. And this guy decided he was gonna gun it through the stop sign. So he didn't even bother to stop. And go around me, but get really close. And I don't know why. That's not necessary. He clearly wasn't in a rush before. But he just chose to do that at that moment. And I think sometimes people just, I don't know, some people are just assholes. That's the only explanation for it. All right. There's a little bit of shoulder here, but I gotta be careful because see? What's so hard about that? All she did was move away from me. She slowed down a little bit and drove around me, even though I was on the shoulder. Meanwhile, you got other guys that will actually speed up and get closer to you. It's a little embarrassing because I am really out of breath, and all I did was one, not even the full loop that I normally do in that park. Normally I do probably 3 times that distance in one loop because I go through the side and I like zigzag through the trails. This past year has been a bit rough, let's just say that much. Hopefully this new year is gonna show improvement. Hopefully we get an early spring, and hopefully I have the willpower to take advantage of it and actually get out and do stuff. All right, looks like we're back at our starting point, give or take. Let's just do a quick check. Both lights are still blinking, so they're recording. And you know what? Since I'm gonna have to put this umbrella down. Well, not really. I could check the camera without putting the umbrella down, I think. I just gotta rotate both of them down. Okay. We're at, it looks like a little less than half on the original Action camera, and let's say it's 77% on the Action 3. So the good thing about the Action 3 is when you actually click on the battery icon, it tells you exactly what the percentage is. Whereas with the original Action, the only way to know is if you plug it into a charger, and then it tells you how much battery life it has. Oh, there's I didn't realize that there was droplets on the lens. Okay. So that might affect things. I'm just looking at the display right now, and the colors are completely different. And right now I'm looking at the yellow lines, and I would say the original Action camera is showing it more like the naked eye. Whereas the Action 3, at least in the display, don't know what it's going to look like when I actually, try to edit the video, but it looks brighter and less saturated is really what I'm looking at. Like right now, this yellow looks like it has a little bit more red in it in real life, and that's how it looks on this camera here that I'm pointing at, which is the original Action. But on this camera, the Action 3, it looks very yellowish, like less red. In fact, the black asphalt also looks less dark. It looks truer to the naked eye on the original Action camera. But again, we'll see what happens when I edit it. And those crows are so loud, I hope you guys can hear it. Hopefully the original camera microphone picks it up. And if it does, I'll include that little bit of audio. But all right, let's straighten this out again. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And with any luck, I will see you in the next video. And until then, take care.